Hey everybody, welcome. It's Epic Eddie here, and we're here for another Real Talk Tuesday. I know it's been a while since I've been on here. A lot's been going on in life. I know the hair's a little shorter. I had a Britney Spears moment, and hashtag free Britney, and I chopped it all off, and now I've been growing it back, but the locks are coming back. But after everything that's been going on, which we'll kind of talk about in a little bit, I finally decided that I am actually going to make a big move. I've been living out here in Vegas for about 7 years, but with everything that's gone on over the past 2 years now, with my mom and COVID and life and everything, I finally decided to make a shift, and I'll be moving out to Scottsdale, Arizona. Got a lot of good peeps out there. However, there is one person that I'm very much going to miss that is staying here in Vegas. Actually, one of my best friends. I think you've probably heard me mention him. So for the first time ever, I'm going to be having a guest, and it is my best friend, Ness. Ness, come on in, brother. Hey, man.
What's up, buddy? Brought my own cup.
All right, so before we start, why are you turning that way?
Because I told you this is my good side, and
Okay.
I didn't want to argue with you before the show.
So let me explain this.
I'm just gonna look this way.
So I was telling Ness that I wanted to sit on this side because this is usually my good side, and I haven't had to have two of us here before. So
Yeah,
he was like, "That's my good side too."
Already being a dictator, like it's okay. It's his show, I guess, right? I'll get my own spin off.
All right. So usually I do Tequila Tuesdays, which you know.
I've seen the show, Eddie.
Yes.
Number one fan, buddy. Number one fan.
So Real Talk Tuesdays usually I used to go
last,
Tequila Tuesday. However, Ness has now been sober for how long now?
Close to 11 months.
So it's coming on
Almost
a year
a
now.
full year.
Almost a year. So we'll get into that in a little bit. But in honor of Ness, because I love him so much, we're going to do Red Bull. Not a sponsor.
Not yet.
Yes.
Not yet.
So I got my usual that I like to get, which is actually sugar-free. Ness enjoys the peach, which actually I do really like the peach. The peach
Love
is good.
peaches.
So in honor of Ness, we're going to pour this up. Little ASMR.
Yep. And this is my first time on this show, but I'm going to tell you right now, I appreciate it. And I just want to cheers you for your great adventure you're about to be on, man. Like, you know.
Why? Mine looks like piss and yours looks nice.
This is piss of excellence. This is when you piss excellence, it's this color.
Oh, cheers to you, man.
No, cheers to you, man. Congratulations on everything you're going to do and accomplish, man. I'm so proud of you.
Good stuff.
It tastes like feathers.
So, we got a lot to talk about, man.
Sure.
So this is my first time having someone else on the show, so I'm super excited. So I guess we'll talk about how we became best friends.
Well, man, that story's so easy. Obviously, I was the coolest person at work, and he was like, "Man, I want to be just like that guy when I grow up."
That's exactly how it.
It didn't happen at all. Now, we were on the same team, right? Like.
Yeah. So it was about how many years ago?
5.
Yeah.
Twins. We know what we're thinking. Like, oh, yeah.
About 5 years ago, we wound up working at the same place. You'd been there, what, about a year?
Nah, not even, bro. I was there for like 4 months. I just lied to everybody.
Okay. When you were there, you've been there for a little bit before me.
Yep.
And
before
I
you.
had just started. We wound up on the same team, and then we're both East Coast boys.
Yep. But he wasn't. All right, let's be real. He wasn't really getting the job the way he was supposed to. So they was like, "Yo, sit with this stud. He's amazing."
I will say, they did tell me that Ness actually has the same style as me. He's very good with people, very good talking with people, and they had me shadow you.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, I just said that, but just in different words, right? So, but honestly, like, I'll be honest with you, bro. Like, I remember that day because I remember that tour, and I put on way harder because you were there, and we got the deal.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then, like, right after that, I remember you having your eureka moment, like, I know exactly what I'm supposed to do.
It all makes sense. Yeah, because I've been working there for a little bit, and then before they had me tour with you.
But, I mean, then you started crushing it, and I don't even want to talk about work no more because after, like,
We're both done with that.
After, like, a year, they promote this guy to a presenter, which is a hard gig to get, and then he gets it, and then in the first, like, 2 years, it instantly becomes the top producer in the company. So, I don't know if you talked about that in the show at all, but, like, you know, absolutely crushed it. So, I'm done with talking about work because I did not do any of that. They kept me because I was cute. That's it.
But you wound up becoming my friend because of that.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate it because Well, obviously we got along because we're both from the East Coast, originally from Jersey.
Yeah, you're from Jersey too.
No, from being, know where I'm from. They know where I'm from too. We've already talked about this. My family's from Belize. His family's from Puerto Rico. Right?
Hells yeah.
And then both raised by single moms.
Hells yeah. Shout out to the single moms out there.
Boom.
All the ones with the phone numbers that are inside my phone right now. It's only one. It's my mom. Like, that's it. I don't know that many single moms.
I'm going to drink to that. So the moment I knew I was like, man, he's a good dude was I was not doing too well, just like still figuring things out. I had just had a move from place to place, and I don't know, a lot of things were happening. And so Ness at the time, his car wasn't working. He was asking me for rides, and I was like, yeah, no worries, man. And then there was one day I was just like tight on money. I was like, hey man, I hate asking, but man, maybe just a little gas money. And he was like, yeah, man, cool. And he hands me some money, gets out of the car, and I look at it, and it's $100 bill. And I'm like, oh man, he gave me the wrong thing. So I yell out the window, I'm like, hey, Ness. He was like, what? And he was like, you gave me the wrong bill. And he's like, what is it? And I was like, $100 bill. He goes, all right, good night. And they just walked away.
Because honestly, I was super pissed out there. I was like, I thought that was a 20. Nah, just kidding. No. I knew what I gave him, but that's because,
You were crushing it. You were doing well at the time.
Yeah, dude, I was in a good mood. I was doing really well, even though I was in a bad position. I like to also say that no matter where you're at in life, the people around you will help you, get to the position that you need to be in. Because I had you, man. I didn't have to worry about having to ride to work. And, that was huge.
Well, the good thing about you and the thing that I've always appreciated about you is that throughout the 5 years of us knowing each other, we've gone through a lot of stuff.
A little bit.
And we've said this to each other. If I've ever had it, I'm like, you got it. I got you.
Same,
back.
vice versa.
Which had been positions. There's been some doing really well, and 100%. You've had the hardships. In the reverse, especially when I first started, I wasn't doing it so well. You had it. You helped me. Even recently, with everything that's gone on, just me not working the job anymore and just having a hard time kind of picking things back up. You've been there for me, and so I've always appreciated that.
And I'll say this, man. It's super easy when it's people that you care about that continuously show you that they deserve it, right? It gets a little bit more difficult when it's a family member that you constantly help or someone that you've known for years that just aren't getting their things together. But like I said, just in that short story of at work, your growth and what you've been doing and what you've accomplished, not only just being by yourself in the West Coast, but just in general and what you want to do and your aspirations, your determination, bro. I completely am not going to lie right now. This best friendship was completely selfish on my end. I needed someone around me who was a leader. I needed someone around me who can control a room. And man, you're all that. And a bag of chips.
I like chips.
I love chips, bro. That's why.
But actually, speaking of improving and stuff, we'll kind of dig into things because, like I said, we've known each other for a long time. Yep. I've known Ness through good times, bad times, been through a lot. I will say one of the things I always appreciate on Ness is it's not perfect. We around each other all the time. Sometimes I'll say something that get on his nerves, or he'll say something on my nerves. It's happened. We have almost fought
twice.
time.
Once in a Denny's parking lot.
No, once in Cantina parking lot.
But there was a Denny's around the corner in a 4-mile radius for sure.
We never did, thankfully, because it's always hard to come back from that.
Yeah, 100%. I'll be honest with you, I work out now a lot, but back then I didn't. And this man,
he was somewhat cut up than me.
Bro,
I'm
if he grabs me, I know I'm just I'm going down, bro. I got 2 hits. That's it. Me and then the floor. So.
But the thing I do appreciate is we always aren't afraid to talk things through.
We're very feminine men, is what he's trying to say.
We're in touch with both our masculinity and our femininity.
Yeah.
We're not afraid to talk about our emotions and talk about real 100%, shit.
No,
which I think
that's what happens when you get raised by amazing mothers.
And I think too when you just get over yourself. You're I think a lot of guys, they get too wrapped up in just being macho and shit. And then, and they think that it's not manly to show that, or we're raised that way, or just kind of how society is. And I
can agree to a certain extent, man. I think some people have it a little bit put together than others. I think that we're doing pretty well for, one, where we came from, two, the backstory of single moms. Bro, I would say this, I've always had like personal battles of like, man, I feel I'm too emotional, and I'm now coming into the, you know what, that's a blessing. Like that's one of your gifts. There's not many men out there who can like see at the level of emotional intelligence that you or me have, right? Anything that you think is like a negative can always be switched into a positive. It just depends on your thought process, man.
Yeah, man. I think we do that well, and that's why like we become so close over the years.
100%.
And then the thing too, which I was gonna get into, is just like we talk about the growth of each other. You've grown a lot over, especially over the past year or so.
No, 100%.
So one of the things I wanted to talk about was your sobriety. We are doing some Red Bull today.
Yeah, let's taste them feathers, dog. Cheers.
Which I'm actually super proud of my boy Ness for taking this option. Now here's the thing. Let me give you a little disclaimer. Ness decided to take this journey not because he was like an alcoholic or anything like that. He never had.
I was getting there, bro.
Fair. But it's like he made it. Well, I'll let you kind of explain it.
I mean, just in a nutshell, man, like, you know, like I remember many a times me already thinking like, man, I think drinking's like kind of like pulling me in the direction I don't want to be in. And I had a couple heart-to-hearts with you before I actually even stopped, right? So one thing I want to say with sobriety, man, is that it doesn't just happen overnight. It didn't happen for me overnight for sure. There was many situations in my life where I was like, man, I should stop drinking, and then fell back into the pressures of like, oh, but I want to, you know, be just like my friends. What's going to happen when everyone cheers? Like, you know, like that's like the big one, being included, right?
Right.
For me, it was having the support of great friends like you. Because I remember when, you know, I had a breakdown moment and I was like, dude, I think I need to like stop doing all this. And the first thing you said was, you know what, bro, do what you need to do for you. Get rid of all your friends if you need to.
Oh, yeah, because that was the one thing he was afraid about, was he was
losing my friends, bro.
Yeah. Side note, this is, again, why I appreciate our friendship, because we both have had breakdown moments.
Yeah, I cried like a little girl, bro.
Yeah, like I've cried in front of this man.
Bro.
And it's such a great thing to be able to have, man.
100%.
And so there was one moment in my kitchen. I was having a thing at my house, and it was just me and him chilling. I was probably actually making a drink, and and
we were drunk.
And he came and he was tearing up and he was telling me, I'm just dealing with so much, and when I drink, I dwell in that. And he's like, I think I might just need to take a break. And I was like, well, then take a break. Yeah. And then you said, I'm just afraid, what happens if I start losing my friends? And then that's when I said, I was like, bro,
fuck them.
Anybody,
we can curse on here.
Yeah.
Oh,
I say, yeah.
No, like, you know.
And I told him, I was like, anybody who doesn't support you bettering yourself, you don't need those people in your life. And anybody,
100%.
and then I even told you me. I was like, yo,
you like get rid of me.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and I would say this, my bad, I don't mean to cut you off, but you know, that is a true friend right there, man. When people care about you enough to say, hey, you know what, like if I'm being a bad influence on you, leave, bro. And I say,
not like a mean way.
No,
but
not in a mean way at all, but just in a way of like, you know, I understand what you're going through, and I understand you're fighting your own demons, and I'm here to support them, even if that support means my absence, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, you know, and I appreciate that. Just there's so many things I appreciate about your friendship, man. I can go on, like, you know, there's a million things I can say of stories that we've had.
So let me ask you this, because and by the way, we talk about like that tough time drinking stuff. We've had some good parties and adventures. So yeah. But you know, shit happens, man, in life, and he was just dealing with his own self-awareness and just kind of self-conscious and just like his own things. And so that night you decided, all right, I gotta this was like the more serious talk about taking a break.
That was like the first time I actually had a serious like, hey, you know what?
Because I think we've mentioned it before.
I've said it a couple of times, but like, you know, like had a straight up epiphany moment of like, you know what, I need to do this. And the funny part is I waited like maybe a month or a month and a half until I really took that serious. Like
that's what I was gonna ask. Yeah.
It didn't click right away. And this was probably like the 5th or 6th time in the last 2 years where I was like, I know this is something I had to do, right? Mm-hmm. But I've learned to like create better habits. I've learned to like, you know, talk about it, to be honest, like talking about it with the closest people around me, obviously you, one of my roommates.
So speaking of which, because that's something I want to dig into, talking about developing better habits. I mean, I personally know, but just kind of for everybody, what are some of the things that you've started, like what processes did you start taking to kind of develop yourself?
So I knew that I needed to get away from the bar, right? Like, you know, I knew like right in the beginning I wasn't going to be able to just go chill at a bar and like, you know, not drink, right? Because that's freaking impossible.
Right.
So, I mean, like staying at home wasn't working for me because like I was like going crazy. But then I started doing little things. Like the 2 biggest things I think I did was I started going to the gym, and then I started reading. Like, you know, I think. And
let me preface it. Let me say this too, and it's not to like, you know, clown or anything, but
no.
When me and Ness first met each other, I think I actually recommended a book or something. And you're like, I'm not a very good reader.
Nah, bro. Absolutely. Like, I would tell people I don't read. Like, that's the straight up truth. And that's a segue to say words are freaking powerful, especially the words you say to yourself. Right? So I would tell myself, I'm not that great of a reader. Like, in my lifetime, I've read 17 books. And in the last 10 months, I would say that I've read 16 of those books.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and that's because I'm just now started to say, you know what, I can do this. Right?
And the more you've done it, it's almost like exercise.
The way easier it gets.
And then I'm not talking about simple books. These are books that
No, I mean, I started a little simple. Yeah. Like, I started with the 4 Agreements, which is a really easy read. I recommended that book to you too, I think. Or you recommended it to me. Either way, like,
No, you recommend 4 Agreements.
And then like you got me on the second one, which was The Alchemist.
Yeah.
Which was a great read. Like, you know. And then like I tried something harder. I went for The Superior Man, which was a really, really intense book. You know what's funny? After I read that third one, which was the really hard one, everything else was a breeze.
Yeah.
Like, everything, like, after that, like, no book intimidated me. But that's because, like,
and this man flies through books. Like, I used to read a lot. And
I'm better.
I'm just getting back, up on it. And he'd just be like, yep, just took a trip, read through this. Like,
I'm planes, honestly. Like, and I'll tell you one thing about
time for yourself too, and like,
but you know what? I'll be real with you. Like, I've traveled a lot in the last 10 months, and planes literally are like the easiest place for me to read because guess what? I'm not paying for Wi-Fi.
You just don't have the distractions.
No, and I can just read a book, bro. It's like, it's so simple. It's 2-3 hours, and I'll run right through it. Versus being at home, it can be a little difficult because like you always tell yourself you have all these other things you need to do, and then you're gonna kind of bullshit for like 20, 30, 40 minutes when you could actually be reading. So like, again, putting the good habits in place. So reading was one of them. Going to the gym was another.
That's been like your second home for,
bro, like straight up. Like, so I would, and you know this, you were there. Like, we spend 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours at a bar, right? Like, we would get paid in liquid assets. Like, that's how much we'd be at the bar. Like, they would joke around. So like for me, like spending that time in the gym was probably easy because I knew I could spend it at a bar.
Yeah, and then like getting your body right and then getting your mind right just kind of helps.
It's hand in hand.
Everything together.
It's 100% hand in hand. And like a lot of people think, and I would say this, I was a lot of people that you need to get your body right to get your mind right, right? You start getting your body right and then your mind will instantly come, where now I start thinking about it, I think it's the exact opposite. I think you really should work on your mind the most, because once you start filling your head with more positivity and your thought process changes, everything starts flowing a little easier. Going to the gym becomes like less of a chore and more of like oh man, I can't wait. Like, dude, I'm so excited, right? I know you know this, bro, because like, like out of all my friends, like I think you're probably one of the ones I feel I can hold like any kind of conversation with, right?
And that's the thing too, because you've been kind of not. I mean, like there are, a lot of people. You're so cool with a lot of people, but you've been changing the people that you
surround myself with,
really invest time with,
a lot,
or talk to.
100%.
One of our really good friends, Brandon, actually, who I mentioned on one of my previous episodes.
Yeah.
So you guys kind of know about him. He's
best artist in the Pacific Northwest, by the way.
Oh yeah,
we're gonna make that happen for sure.
Yeah.
He's gonna be in an NFT game.
You know
bro.
what? What's his Instagram?
It's B Baker something else.
I'll have it right here.
Yeah, he'll be right down. It'll be right down here in this area. Like, it looks like I'm reaching for boobs.
Okay.
I don't know what this is, but we're gonna fill it in.
It's gonna fill it in right here
in this area. But best artist in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, does have some great art, and you actually. So I'm gonna tell this story because. You guys have become like, we're all really good friends, but him and Brandon had made this, which I really like this, which probably once I make my move, we're gonna start the same thing.
For sure.
But they have this like this pack that every day they take at least 15 minutes. They can take more, but at least 15 minutes to call each other and talk on the phone.
Yep.
You can talk about nothing. You could be talking about how your day was, something encouraging, whatever it is, doesn't matter. We're taking 15 minutes out of the day to just connect and spend time. And through that, you guys also, because we've seen his artwork before, but Ness just finally was like, bro, we need to
put it out, bro.
And
like 100%.
He pushed him to start doing content and stuff and like really getting things out there. Now he's been really kind of developing that.
Yeah, no, and the best part about Brandon Baker, a super talented artist, and a great friend. He knows the path and the journey I want to go on, and not only does he support it, but he also like wants to be a part of it, right? Yeah. Like, which is the best part.
Finding the things that you're good at and finding the things that you kind of like your purpose almost. And I think Ness had kind of finally started to find that, and that was helping others. Yeah. and
Self-development.
Self-development. And that's like his personal self-development has pushed and motivated your wanting to develop others.
Yeah.
And or help
100%.
others develop themselves.
100%. 100%.
And so that's been his kind of goal now is...
Yep. To be the best in the world in self-development, man. Yeah. Like, to be the best in physical health, mental health, sobriety. It's a goal, and I know it's a big one. I know it's going to take me a really long time. There's great names out there. There's Tony Robbins. There's E.T., Eric Thomas. Shout out to my boy, man. That dude's freaking on fire every time I'm at the gym. Jordan Peterson, which is the intellectual, like just straight up like out of a book. Like, it's just amazing. And I wanna be a part of that amazing like lineup. Like people have their talents, in basketball and football. Mama raised a 5'5" Puerto Rican Mexican who can run pretty fast, but after middle school, like the peak just stopped. Like everyone started growing. So I didn't realize until I was 30 that books actually were really good.
Yeah,
so,
books are dope.
Books are dope.
Books are tight.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things that I do appreciate about you is that you and well, I guess I'll tell you guys because I know this, but one of Ness's other really, really great talents is that he just has this infectious energy that
not coronavirus,
not coronavirus. But it's just pure joy, man, and happiness and positivity 99% of the time. That's why I also do feel like I'm pretty blessed and lucky to see that small percent when you do have rough times and just see the humanity in it.
You see all of them too, because you're like really the only person I trust to go to. Because like when you're having rough times, it's even difficult to like you can't go to everybody, man.
And I agree. Like, and I think you've been able to find that yourself, but then also you have this knack of like inspiring people to find it themselves too. And I think that's pretty dope because you do have two projects that you're passionate about that you're kind of working on. So we've got Adventureness. So Adventureness is what? Adventureness
started right before the pandemic. I was going through the midlife crisis. I decided to do like the dumbest stuff ever. Like I took out my 401k. Like I quit my job / got fired. So that's a long story for another episode. But so I took my 401k. Wasn't that much in there, but I took that out and I decided to go and do volunteer work in South America. I was supposed to go out for 5 weeks, turtle conservation program, teaching kids English.
Oh yeah.
And then like to go do construction in Peru, but I had to come back because of coronavirus. But like that's where Adventureness started. And then in the middle of that one, in my sobriety, I decided to create Greatness. But man, just they both go hand in hand because life is an adventure, and we all strive for greatness, man.
So Greatness is more just like that's like your self-development, your encouragement, and then Adventureness is just the adventures and networking.
Yes.
Connecting. Did it fix it? Did it put it a little? Where? Ness messed it up. So that's what happened.
Yeah.
Ness messed. I pointed the wrong direction. Ness messed it up.
Yeah. Ness did it.
Ness did it. Ness did it. So we went a little longer than the memory stick.
What do you mean? Bullshit. I think we went perfect time.
If you record things,
you need to get
what's up.
Bigger memory sticks.
So we're here. So back to what we were at. We were talking about the greatness and Adventureness.
Yeah.
Okay, so Greatness is focusing more on self-development, right?
100%.
So which and let me preface this too, by the way, everybody. So the major thing, sobriety was the thing that kind of helped you, but it's not like your focus because everybody. I still drink my tequila.
Yeah, and I still watch you drink tequila.
Which by the way, so I do have to commend you on this because we just brief second to talk about this and then we'll move past. But you're to a point now like he'll like if we're at the bar drinking, he'll come by and say hey to because a lot of people there.
Yeah,
so he'll like come by and say, hey, what's up? We've gone to festivals together where people are all kinds of stuff, and he doesn't do anything. Like he just has a good time.
But I promise I'm hella fun too.
No, that's what I was just about to say. Like, and we've had people say this too before. Like his like energy. He was like, bro, this dude is full of energy, and I'm like, yeah. If we could just bottle that shit up and take that, I'd take 2 in the morning and call you every day. stupid, crazy, good energy and just good vibes, and always tries to kind of like, and not even tries it, like when your cup is just full, and you can't contain anymore, you just want to give that joy to other people.
Yeah, no,
and
100%.
that's the energy you bring, and I fucking love that.
And I appreciate that.
Oh yeah, and I think a lot of people who actually really get to know you, that's why people love you like to death, honestly. So that being said, like sobriety is not the focus. So your focus is more the like just what you need to do to get your physical and especially your mental health, right?
So, I mean, like, look, and I will say this, for me, sobriety was a big focal point because I knew for me, it was something that I needed to do in order to get all the other things in line, like the ducks in a row. I'm just saying, find a balance, man. Like, if reading books is your thing, read a book. If hiking's your thing, go hiking. Like the point.
Or listen to motivational stuff.
Yeah, no, oh, dude, I listen to all types of motivational stuff, like all the time.
I think it is needed regardless. Some people aren't big readers. Some people don't like to listen to a lot of stuff. Yeah. But I think at the same time, incorporating a little bit of that more into your life will help you to just feel more positive and do 100%. More things, because it's just like anything else. Like what you put into your body is what comes out, and that's any place. Listening, viewing.
Yep, 100%. And just the people around you too, man. Like there's one thing that I have heard constantly throughout the motivational things that I listen to, and it's if you want to change quicker, change your friends. And for me, that's probably the most difficult thing, because I have such a huge loyalty to the people around me, because like they were there when I wasn't greatness, right? Like like in a sense of what greatness is to me, right?
Ness.
Yeah. Decentness,
like, extra mediumness,
Ness. But no, and then so for me that was the most difficult. So what I did, because what people suggest can be great, but you have to figure out your own way, right?
Yeah, that was a big thing with us trying to figure it out. Not like us to get.
Yeah, no.
I dealt
heterosexual life partner though, for sure, 100%.
My boo.
Yeah.
I've dealt a long time with depression. This past 2 years it was probably my biggest bout with it, and it got really, really bad, which I know was hard for you to watch through, because especially as you were kind of developing yourself and you were getting better, and you wanted that from me. And
100%. 100%.
Speaking of us not getting along all the time, like there was a couple times when we butted heads. It's just because like you were trying to
high strong, motivate you,
try to motivate hard.
Yeah.
But it was just not the ways
working.
that I was receiving it, especially because I guess I just wasn't ready to receive it either.
Yeah, no,
and
I think that's something that I'm learning too, and being good in self-development is that you have to really realize when someone's either receptive or when they're gonna come in their own time, you know, and that was a big one for you.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I think I know everyone's had a hard year, and everyone can say woe is me, but man, when I see what has happened, with you personally for the last 2 years, not only did you have to go through coronavirus, but your mom, being the only person in the West Coast out of your family, right? So these are things that I can applaud you for, man, because you've done more than most people would. Most people would have went home already. Most people would have lost everything, right? And you're not there, bro. You're absolutely, in my eyes, you're absolutely crushing it, because you're moving forward, right? You're not just standing still anymore.
I mean, yeah, and I'm starting to move forward now. I definitely got stuck for a while.
I understand that.
And that was a hard part, man. I really dealt with just deep depression.
Yeah, and for a while you weren't even talking about it.
No. And just because and that's the thing too. And that's something that I think is part of why I talk about it now, because most people who are depressed aren't going to just come and say, hey, I'm depressed.
And they're the happiest people in the room, by the way, too.
I think I did a thing about Robin Williams a while back, who was one of the people I super enjoyed.
Same.
And he committed suicide.
Yeah.
And I will admit, I've had times in that dark realm, and it's hard to be in that thought process, just because you just want anything to stop for a moment. It's not that you want to go or you want to leave people, but it's just everything up here becomes just so much and overwhelmed. You just want things to stop.
No, I get it.
And it's just tough. It's tough to be in that mindset, and it was hard. And I do want to thank you too. Just you showed me a lot of love, and in your learning process too. And I'll say too, it's a lot easier to help motivate somebody or help give somebody advice who's not as close. So that's why
Very true.
it's hard to have a therapist be your therapist if that's your
and your
like
cousin.
your cousin. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
100%.
Yeah, or a doctor operated
No,
on you and that's your
100%.
dad. Like
Yeah.
like because there's so much there is some bias and there is that deep
lot of
knowledge
bias.
instead of just looking at it and it's hard both ways for me,
No,
to
and,
think.
I was gonna say that too because going in the aspect of like me wanting to do this as a professional career, it's difficult when it's your friend because you know
Best friend.
how best friend, yeah, you know how much like but besides potential that they have, right? Like you know where they can be because you've seen them there before. So like that's the most difficult part in the bias, I think, for me. But hey, can I just say like I commend you for even just being able to talk about it the way you do, bro.
Yeah.
Like because that is the most difficult thing. People feel like they're by themselves. I don't know if I have the numbers right, but I know Tony Robbins said like in a room of like 2,500 people, there could be like 12 people that like want to like commit suicide, right?
Yeah.
And like the biggest thing, I got that off the documentary. You put me on the documentary too.
Yeah.
I'm Not Your Guru.
Yeah.
On Netflix.
On Netflix.
Yeah. So I mean, that they're not sponsored yet, but like go watch them.
Tony Robbins, holler at me.
But like no, straight up, like, and then in the thing he was talking to the guy, and like that I see it a lot in yourself, and I see you already coming to that mental clarity. You get so upset what you've done in the last 3 or 4 or 5 years, and you got to remember you have 2, 3, 4, 5 decades left to really make up for that. And instead of like thinking more of the past, dwelling on it, like it's about the future. And I see you going into that transition, like and it's not the easiest transition in the world. And another thing Tony Robbins says is like the most difficult climbs can lead you to the prettiest views, right? So 100%. Like I can't wait because I see the transition, and I'm a little pissed off. Because you're gonna be you're not what you're doing, but where you're gonna be, bro. Because once you get to where you're gonna be, dude, I'm gonna need you. Like like I'm gonna need you for everything.
We gonna need each other forever. I already said when we die we'll be ghost best friends.
Right, so. No, and look, if we get our own talk show, like I'm literally doing it this side the whole way because this is my.
I'll switch with you next time.
No, you won't. Like don't lie because the camera's recording.
It might be your show.
No, I mean,
if I'm on your show,
motherfucker,
then I can switch sides.
If it's my show, like we not even gonna be sitting, we're gonna be standing. Like,
but front way you look good.
Yeah, I mean, I know I look right. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just, like I just think this side looks a little better. I mean, I don't know. Like,
you look.
We'll let the people decide.
We'll let the people decide. Actually, yeah. In the comments, just Ness know if it's his left side or right side is his best side. Which side? Which side
either way,
like
or
back side.
I feel like if either way, like if I go too far, it's like, oh man, his cousin's with Pinocchio. Like, fuck. But yeah.
Oh man, I love it, man. I just love like just that journey that you're going on and helping other people to get through that. And we've talked a lot. And like you said, like I like that. Like the toughest climbs sometimes lead to the best views. And it's funny because obviously it's a metaphor, but I've learned that through
a lot of metaphor?
Yeah. But it's also true in just real life because like when I've gone to Alaska, I remember one of the toughest hikes that I did was just nuts. And then, but I got to the top and I was like, oh, this is
worth it.
Actually, that was my first hike. That was my first hike actually.
Shit.
I just thought about that. My first year.
Hike.
Yeah. Well, I never hiked on the East Coast because there's ticks and poison ivy and all that shit you gotta worry about.
All shit
but I mean, I guess there's probably some out here, but we usually do different places.
Nope, don't live in the desert, dog.
Yeah, in Alaska though, like it was just like you don't have to worry about that, and so. I remember going up the mountain. I'm like, oh my God, how long is this going to take? Then we get to the flat part. I'm like, I'm good. Then we go up again. And then finally got to the top and I was like, holy shit. Yeah. That was like, but that actually leads me into, we talked about greatness and that development, but then you also have Adventureness.
Yeah.
You said the big thing started from your trip to...
trip to South America, Costa Rica.
Costa Rica, yeah. So you did the turtle conservation out there,
right.
Which too, I say I appreciate because like my mom, I told them my mom passed just before COVID, and then COVID happened, and then they were starting to lock things down, and you were out in Costa Rica. Yeah. We thought you were gonna get stuck there at first.
I thought so too. I almost didn't mind getting stuck there though, because I was like on a beach with 300 people, like just in the town of Junquillas where the turtle conservation program was.
Yeah.
But like I feel like after like my money had ran out, I would have been pissed I was still there.
Yeah.
Because like they weren't gonna let me just stay there, bro.
Yeah.
Like, no matter how much they
and
they
then
love me.
when you came back, I know that was tough for you because I was going through it.
Bro, yeah,
and I was by myself, but nobody. This was like literally beginning of Corona, so like nobody knew what the hell was going on.
Yeah, so I couldn't come see you.
You wait, I think it was like a couple months, and then finally you were like, all right, if I'm not sick yet, I'm good,
bro. Yeah,
because especially because you were coming from a third world country, like I don't know, like
no, 100%.
But but I like that was kind of the start of your big adventure because that was your first time out of
my first time, not just out of the country, but my first time taking an adventure on my own, right? Like so.
Oh yeah. You were by yourself.
I mean, every trip that I've taken, like we've taken a lot of them together,
right.
Like but majority of my trips, almost all of them except for that one, like I've taken with somebody and gone somewhere like touristy, and I've never done anything like to not just help myself but to help others, and on my own. So that was a huge one.
What's another like top trip of yours? I know. I know Washington.
I love going to Washington just in general.
Going to
Base Canyon. Yeah, that's a good one. And the best part about I've been to Base Canyon.
So I've already decided next year me and him are going, and so I'm gonna record everything. I'm gonna vlog it, 100%. And I'm gonna show you guys. But
Base Canyon is beautiful, man.
You've been how many times?
3.
3 times.
Yeah. The first 2 completely obliterated on drugs. Like,
I'm
not even gonna lie.
Yeah,
like, this year was like a huge, like a super great one because this was like I've been to a couple of, like shows and like going to raves.
That was like your first big like
camping, like like I knew there was gonna be I knew there was gonna be people offering me stuff that I want, like and the good part is that like I was able to go through all 3 days and like not have to worry about doing it because like I knew I was in full control, but I didn't know that until I got there.
Yeah.
Right. So
that was like your big test for yourself.
Huge test.
Because then we wound up going to EDC together.
Yeah. And then it just got easier.
Yeah, me and Ness have been to EDC four times together. Four times together.
Camping was dope. If you've never been camping, we suggest camping.
We've met some really cool people.
Super dope people.
Yeah, man. Like we've gone on good adventures together.
Can I also just say this though? Like the rave community. When I tell you that no matter what, I don't care if you're a raver, if you're not a raver, but if you care about drugs, if you don't, bro, just what we can get out of the rave community of peace, love, unity, respect. I know the real ravers know about that player life for show. Like what we can get out of that if we can just incorporate that into the actual world. Because I know there's a bunch of ravers out there that like on the 3rd day they always go, man, I wish I could live here forever. Yeah. And in my mind, I've always said that on drugs, but this was the first time where I said it off of drugs, where I was like, well, why can't we? Yeah. Like, like why can't I just take what I feel here and bring it out to the outside world?
Yeah. And I think that's too because people who haven't experienced that stuff really have this like idea, like they're just like everybody, like just a bunch of hippies, and a bunch of hippies, and da-da-da. And there's a lot of people that go sober. First of all,
I'm surprised. Yeah, I was really surprised.
And because even some of the people we met, they weren't drinking.
They weren't drinking.
Yeah, and so that's one. 2, all ages. I've seen like older couples like in their like 70s, like just chilling,
bro, like shuffling.
Yeah,
I think he was like
they were like, I'm not dead
he
yet. Probably shuffling to the bathroom.
I think he was shuffling,
but just having a good time. But the other thing is, people have this idea that they're just like woo woo kind of like hippie kind of people, and it's just like,
you know what?
Man.
They are. There's a bunch of them that are for sure super. I'm wearing my hippie pants, bro.
Oh yeah.
But
the thing I love about it,
what's wrong with hippies?
Because like the idea of, like you said, peace, love, unity, respect, and while some people think about it, I'm like, no, it's real. Like just having just peace with each other, peace of mind, just like that's something we all strive for.
I
like love, like whether
especially
it be
loving yourself.
Yeah, loving yourself. Looking for romantic love,
100%,
but also like platonic. He is single. Just saying. Thirst in the comments. Oh shit, bro!
I didn't know what to do but smile.
I think if there are a few of these, we'll do another like quick session of reading thirst tweets if they're in there. Thirst comments. Yeah.
All right. So I didn't know waters drank on the internet.
It's evident.
Birds drank on the internet.
So we're gonna, but like, and then also just like friendship, like the love as friends and people. Like I have such a big love for you. I tell him all the time I love him. He tells me all the time he loves me.
100%.
And I'm thankful for that friendship love. Just unity, just bringing people together. Yeah. Like through something common, which you always trying to find people that that you can connect with and relate to, and then just respect, which I think is a huge thing.
You know, it's one thing that I find real funny because, like, okay, so a lot of people always say, man, like, I love your energy. You're amazing. You can really, like talk to anybody. There's times, and you've seen it, where I get super insecure. Like, you know, like, I can talk to anybody, but, like, there's certain times where, like, I can't talk to anybody. And I think you've seen that the most. I'm basically saying that to say, like, I now realize that I don't search for the unity. The unity comes and finds me. Yeah. Like, you know, and that's a gift, again, that I get from the universe. Like, you know.
Well, I think, too, is just, like, when you get to a point of not trying to be someone, but just being yourself, you attract the people, and you attract people to you based on who you are. And if you're just yourself, then those people that are attracted to you are genuine people. They're genuinely attracted to you.
100%.
You know?
100%.
And I think that's something you've kind of come to learn. Like,
I'm still learning.
Yeah,
still learning. Yeah. Still on that process.
But more, so, I've seen such a big change from like this past year of you just owning yourself and just being more unapologetically.
Yeah,
you.
The word
like
we
just
both
being,
can't get right now.
Drunk off the Red Bull.
Goddamn feathers.
And just being yourself, and not worrying about that. And I think that's been such a big, awesome thing in your growth.
And look, man, I'm not trying to throw a compliment after you give a compliment, even though I always do that.
I'll catch it.
But yeah, catch this one, because I honestly, like, there was been times where, like, dude, I can command a room, bro. Like, I know that's a gift, like, you know, but I would tell you that there's so many times where I'm dead silent in the room because you're crushing it, right? Like, and there was times, like, in the beginning of our friendship where, like, I wouldn't even like want to hang out with Eddie sometimes because he would absolutely be murdering the game.
I think, like, that was the time we got to where we almost
yeah, no, 100%, you know, like, and I think so. And you know what, like, jealousy is not a bad thing, man. Like, especially if it's
a normal feeling. You're gonna feel it.
100%.
It's how you act on it.
100%. So, and that's why I'm saying, like, you know, like when I told you, and then I even said the word jealous, right? Like, where a lot of men wouldn't tell another man that they're jealous of.
But that's where I got I got so much respect for him, is because of the fact that he could just be honest about this stuff. Because I'm the same way. I don't mind if I'm wrong. I'll admit to it. Everybody's gonna make mistakes. We're all human. Yeah. We fuck up. We have emotions. Whatever. But if you can own up to your shit and just be like, hey, this is how I was feeling. This is how I like what I did, and I'm sorry, or I'll try to fix it, or whatever it might be, or it came out the wrong way, but I actually meant this, or whatever it might be. And you have just a great heart to do that. And I've always said, I appreciate that. A lot of the times, no matter what we go through, it's good. I know it's gonna be okay because I know where your heart's at, and I know what your intent is.
Yeah.
And that's a big thing, man.
They're like, I did a sharp. Yeah. Like, you know, again, still compliments are still something I'm working on taking, right? Like,
more compliments in the comments.
I appreciate it.
Make them feel awkward.
Yeah,
shit.
like, you know, like, I'm just smiling out here.
So, all right. So before we wrap this up, real quick, what are 2 big goals for greatness?
And Adventureness?
And then 2 big goals for Adventureness.
All right. So let's be honest with Adventureness. I still want to figure out what Adventureness is to me. With Adventureness, I really am considering that, like, that is it's not going to be me. Adventureness is like literally I want videos of like the adventures I take people on. Okay. Documenting it and like, you know, making a cool video. So that's what I want to do with Adventureness. Okay. And I also want that to segue into raves. Like I still love raving, even though I don't do any drugs or anything like that. I love the community. I love the people. I love what it stands for. I love the music. So I want to get people to understand, like, even if like they go, man, I really want to go to a rave, but I don't want to do drugs, or man, I've never been to a rave without doing drugs. I just want to adventure off into places to not only give me the experience of other cultures, but you know,
connect with other people.
Yeah, okay, different places.
And then
goals for greatness.
What's
so like for greatness, I want to definitely work on these 8 pillars to greatness. Mm-hmm. Just to let you know, one of them, just the number 1 pillar to greatness is to be different. Mm-hmm. And then once you master that pillar, it's truly to be yourself, because everybody, no matter what, is different in their own way. No one's the same, right? So like to push more of that and to understand being different is being yourself, and at a mastery level.
I like that. Being different is being yourself, because I think sometimes, especially nowadays, everyone's trying to be like
cookie cutter.
so different that it's the same different.
Yeah,
almost
yeah,
instead
no,
of just
I
being
get
themselves.
you. I get you.
Yeah, and so I like that. Being different is just being yourself, and that's the uniqueness in it. Instead of just trying hard to be different.
Yeah.
But being able to accept the fact that you're different.
100%. You know,
that's awesome, man.
And then with greatness, man, like I'm now falling into my gifts, right? Like I'm now.
What's the
Yeah.
like big goal, dream, go?
Motivational speaker around the world, best
So like
for-
stage and stuff.
100%.
Nice.
Like 100%. I would love my own show.
that'd be dope.
I'd love to talk to just celebrities would be great. I want to get there, but I want to start off talking to regular
Just
people. Real people.
Regular ass people like me.
Regular ass people, and you're not regular, bro. Like I'm already starting with a celebrity, which is the worst part of this. Like I'm doing exact opposite of what I said I was. But no, straight up, like I wanna interview more people because I wanna learn how to be more comfortable in front of the camera, and I definitely want to travel the world and inspire others to just be inspired. Like
Well,
I want to find greatness, like
Right.
not just in myself, but in other people.
Well, I guess the best way to find it is to connect with those people.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
real quick before we wrap up, where can everybody find you?
So I'm on TikTok.
TikTok.
I'm on Instagram.
So what's your TikTok?
My TikTok is Greatness, GRE8TNES. Instagram's the same thing, Greatness, GRE8TNES. I'm just starting off on those platforms for now.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, was I gonna say, Greatness? I spell it in a specific way, NES. Obviously, it stands for me, but I really feel that greatness is a never-ending story. So that's the reason
NES,
why-
never-ending story.
Never-ending story.
Killing the game.
Yeah, I'm trying, bro. I'm
And
not
then-
even man.
And then
I'm
the
not trying,
eight
I'm
for
doing. I'm
the
doing.
eight pillars, or the eight in the great.
Yeah, the
pillars.
eight and the great, and you flip that 8 because that's infinity, bro. You're always working on it. I'll say the 8 pillars of greatness, but I'll save that for another episode.
He's just making sure
different,
that
be
he
yourself.
can get on my show again. That's what.
Yeah.
It is. Well, first,
I heard Brittany's coming
first
on.
off-
You're gonna talk about your hairdos,
Miss
like
Spears.
what was the inspiration, or would you dye it before you cut it next
Before
time?
I did. I threw some green in it. Oh my god, that's a whole other thing.
All right.
It
Next
got
episode.
yeah, it got weird. First of all, thank you again, Ness, for
Dude, thank
doing
you
this
for
for me.
thank you so much for having me.
Breaking the ice for guests, my first guests on this. Thank you guys for hanging out, and thanks. I know I've been gone for a good while,
But he's back, baby.
but I'm back, baby.
Yeah.
So I will be working on. I'm doing this not like periodically, but I am going to be working on more like vlog type stuff because just like Ness, I've been wanting to get into more traveling, doing more stuff, and so I'm going to start working on some more like vlog style.
Do that shit, man.
And then you will probably see more. By probably, I mean definitely see more collaborations with me and Ness. Yep, the Epic Adventures of Eddie and Ness.
Epic Adventures.
So, Epic Eddie, Adventure Ness.
Heck yeah.
And yeah, man, I'm gonna miss you on my trip. Moving.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'll
But
miss you too, man.
Obviously, we will still keep in touch.
Hey, and
still have adventures. We're
Yeah,
close
of
enough.
course, absolutely. Like you couldn't get rid of me if you wanted to. But no, straight up, man. Thank you. Because no matter where this winds up on the internet, this is my literally first interview I've ever done ever.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna.
You saw it here first.
Yeah, and I know this is like one of millions that I'll do, because this is the path I'm wanting to be on, and I appreciate you for just giving me a taste of it, man.
Well, here's your path. And as I always say for everyone before I go, life's short, make it epic. Cheers.
Can I get a catchphrase too?
We'll work on it.
Don't be good, be great.
That's a wrap.
Do you have one of those things?
I do.
Can we get that? Like, where's the lady?